Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Make Money Monday mentorship here on our third session that we have. And let me tell you, the results are coming in. The growth that people are experiencing is being seen. A lot of people are recognizing the fact that, hey, you know what? Yes, I want to make money in real estate. Yes, I want to, hit these big goals. But if I don't take care of the fundamentals, it's never going to happen. And last week, we talked about the most important pillar in our business. You know, real estate is a science. Real estate is a science. And we have to understand the science of real estate in order to really see the results. Now, here's what I know does not work. So if you're taking notes, write this down. Information without implementation does not work. Information without implementation does not work. Okay, what does that mean? That means that when you go to a training and you are getting all this information and you have someone telling you what you're supposed to do, right? Do this and do that and do this and do that and do this and do that. But there's no one holding you accountable. It's never going to get done. And information without implementation is useless. So we spoke about certain pillars that are important. The number one pillar, who can put in the chat for me, what is the number one pillar in our business? What is the number one pillar that you and I and anyone in real estate must master? Now, when I talk about mastering this pillar, I'm talking about you are the ninja of doing this. You are a master. You are a pro. You are at a pro level. You are at a pro level where you literally do it without even having to think about it. So let's light up the chat. Let's see. Your calendar is your boss. Yes, thank you so much. Your calendar is your boss. You have no idea how challenging it is for us to master our calendar. Just this morning, I launched another level of value driven growth opportunity called Make Money Activity, money making activity, money making activity. There's things we must do that are going to generate more business. And we started off by talking about, are we running our business like an agent or are we running our business like a CEO? Give me a number 2 in the chat, those of you that really, really, really want to run your business like a CEO. Okay, we got one person. Yes, my sessions are always interactive. And that's why if you really want, again, here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't show up just to get more information because the truth is we don't need more information. We need more strategy. And the only way that you are going to benefit from a strategy is by writing it down and implementing it. Let me say that again. The only way you're going to benefit from a strategy is by writing it down and implementing it. So I was thinking last week, and I said, let's take this to another level. Let's take this to another level where I can really show people how I am able to do what I do and get the results that I get. And the only way to do that is money making activity. Money making activity. Write that down. Money making activity. Now, everybody wants to make money in real estate. Everybody wants to run their real estate like a CEO. Everybody has an equal opportunity, especially right now, to outperform their competition. So why is 96%, write this down, 96% of real estate agents closing 5 or less transactions in the last 12 months. Guys, there's no way, there is no way, there is no way anybody can tell me that they love to close 5 or less transactions a year. There's no way. Nobody ever got into, like, I run a real estate academy, and I've never heard somebody say, Coach Lucy, my dream is to get my real estate license and make Walmart money. Like, I cannot wait to get into real estate so that I can go 3-4 months without a closing. Like, my dream is to have a closing every now and then. My dream is to have a closing, you know, maybe twice a year or 4 times a year if I'm lucky. That's really my dream. No, that nobody has ever said that. Nobody has ever said that. So if nobody got into real estate to have 5 or less closings a year, then why are 96% of real estate agents having that level of performance? Well, I'm going to tell you why it is. Because there's a lot of realtors that are having closings by accident. What is a closing by accident? Like, I got to go into this a little deeper so that you guys can really have your mind primed. What is real estate by accident? Somebody called me and I answered the phone. Somebody thought of me and recommended me to a friend. Somebody decided to give me a chance, and I was lucky enough to be able to sell them a house. Somebody remembered me and said, hey, do you want to help me? I'm looking to buy or sell my house. Or I happen to be somewhere at the right place at the right time. So I sold real estate by accident. Or people that know me recommended me to a friend or a family. Guys, that is real estate by accident. That is not going to happen more than 5 to 8 times a year. No one that is a high performer, no one that is having closings at a high level is doing real estate by accident. No one. So how do you go from 5 to 8 transactions a year to 1 transaction a month, every month after month, consistently? This morning when we were meeting at our money making activity Monday here at the academy, we talked about a doctor. We talked about a doctor, and I this is my introduction to what I'm going to share with you, because I want to mentor a little bit on this. This morning it was really a master class. This morning was all about helping people see, why do I do what I do? Why am I at the level that I'm at? Why am I not able to break my ceiling? What's holding me back? Why do I want to make this much money, but I'm really making this much money? Or why do I have to be reacting when the phone rings, when somebody, like, how can I get to really running my business like a pro? Because that's what I want to share with you guys right now in this mentorship. There's a way to run your business like a pro, not making money by accident, not making money because you have enough people that remember you and by accident they recommended you, and by accident you answered the phone, and by accident you were at the right place at the right time, and by accident, the deal came together. No, how do you really run your business like a pro, like a master? And this morning we took the example of a doctor. A doctor makes about $250,000 a year. I want everybody to write that down. $250,000 a year. $250,000 a year. And some of you may say, wow, man, that's a lot of money. So I want to ask you this question. What would change in your life What would be the number one thing that would change in your life? Listen to my question. What would be the number one thing that would change in your life if you were generating $250,000 a year? What would be that number one thing that comes to mind right away that you'd be like, you know what? Man, at $250,000 a year, boom, I'd have more money in my savings account. I would buy more investment property. I would pay off my debt. I would cancel my credit cards. I would pay off my house. I would buy a house. I would pay off my car. I would pay for X, Y, and Z to help them. I would be more of a blessing to other people that I'm able to be now. I would start another organization, or maybe I would, start an organization. Like, what would you do with $250,000 a year? And if you're making $250,000 a year already, that's great. Because you can make another $250,000 and be at $500,000 a year. But you got to understand that's not going to happen by accident. That's not going to happen by you doing just enough. And the biggest epidemic that real estate agents are going through is they're doing barely enough or just enough. Most real estate agents are performing at a very average level. Average level. That's why 96% of you in real estate are selling less than 5 homes a year, 5 or less. But really, you have the opportunity to make doctor money. So what would happen if you decided to make doctor money? What is doctor money? $250,000 a year. That is a basic entry level doctor after they finish paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to a university. $250,000 a year. So I want to give you a little bit about what I shared with the people in the room this morning with me. And I said, okay, let's take $250,000 divided by 12. Everybody take $250,000 divided by 12. That's about $21,000 monthly. Monthly. Guys, do you realize that when you decide, when you decide, when you decide to be the person that has the mindset of a $21,000 a year performer, and then you take that decision, write this down. You've got to make a decision. You've got to make a decision to be that person every day. And then when you decide to be that person consistently for 1 year minimum, every day, 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 when you make that decision to be that performer, after 1 year, you will start to generate that next level of income. But I have more news. This is the news that really blows my mind. How many closings does it take for you or anyone in the real estate industry to make $21,000 a month? This is the part that makes no sense. This is the part that divides the ocean of excellence and mediocrity. Because there's people that are excellent at what they do, but the majority of people are mediocre. And the problem with the real estate industry is that you could be mediocre and still make money by accident. You see, when you're a doctor, an attorney, an engineer, an architect, you cannot make money by accident. Those people have to perform at a certain level of excellence in order to generate their $250,000 a year. But in real estate, it's so easy to be mediocre, do just enough, be average, and make money by accident. But here's what I want you to understand in this mentorship session that I have for you is how many properties must I sell to make $21,000 a month? And the answer is so small. Does somebody know the answer? Put it in the chat if you know the answer. The average price point right now is $400,000. Like any property, more or less, is $400,000. If you do your job and you know how to do your job well, you're going to make at least 3%. That is $12,000 in gross close commission. $12,000 before anybody gets paid, bills are paid, whatever. We're talking gross, right? Because we're talking business. So 2 transactions a month, 2 closings per month will give any real estate agent that makes the decision to graduate from mediocre, below average, average performance into excellent, overperformance, high performance, high skill development, the ability to make doctor money. So here's the $1 million question. If it's only 2 properties a month, what is the challenge that 96% of realtors have in closing 2 transactions a month? Let's put it in the chat. What is the challenge? Because you represent thousands of other people that are in your same shoes. I represent thousands of people that are in my same shoes. Like we are the mirror of other people that are in our same shoes. The beauty of this is, hey, if I learn how to go to this next level, then I'm able to help other people that are in my level to go to a next level. And as I teach these other people that are in my level how to go to that next level, I am mastering my craft. When you master your craft, you become unstoppable. Now, I know everybody says, oh, I want to be unstoppable. Everybody knows the song Unstoppable. Everybody has the hat, the shirt, the logo, Unstoppable. But are you really performing at an unstoppable level? And I can tell you, if you're still stuck in the ocean of mediocrity, small thinking, closed-mindedness, hanging around with the pigeons in your life, you're not there yet. You're not there yet. Because becoming unstoppable is an opportunity everybody has, but it doesn't happen by accident. So the first thing I want you to understand is that between you being unstoppable and you performing at the level that you're at, there is a decision that has to be made. And it happens every Monday. Write that down. It happens every Monday. The way you begin your week determines how you end your week. If you start your week chasing squirrels, running from here to there without a massive action plan, massive action plan, if you show up on Monday to your office, or if you start your day without a massive action plan every Monday and you don't focus on money making activity, you're not building that bridge. So it's only 2 transactions. Only 2 transactions a month separate the 96% from the 4%. So my question to you is, when are you going to be sick and tired of being at the 96%? And I can give you the answer. When you decide to wake up and make a decision. What kind of decision, Lucy? A decision that you will never again do real estate by accident. That you will never again run your real estate business like a real estate agent, hunting for squirrels, undisciplined, uncommitted, inconsistent, hanging around with pigeons, worrying about the interest rates, worrying about, the market, talking about the same old, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. living in a fantasy, living in a fantasy called, I want to make a lot of money, but you know what? I perform at a very below average level. That's really where it all begins. So I say all of that, and that's my introduction because I'm not in no rush. My mentorship is going to continue Mondays until I get to where I know I'm going. When are you going to be showing up, playing full out, all in, making this a sacred moment where not only are you filling yourself with more information, guys, the industry is saturated with information. You and I are suffering from informationitis, chronic informationitis. The only solution that we have is implementation. Implementation is the cure to being broke, busted, and disgusted. Implementation is the cure to winging what you do in real estate and doing closings by accident, letting everybody else run your business, acting like an employee, thinking like an employee, talking like an employee, reacting like an employee, following directions like you're a high level secretary. I want you to own your business. And, when I talk about owning your business, I don't even care if you work for someone else. You could run your company where you're at, like if it were your own. And let me give you some good news. The moment you start running your company where you work at, like it's your own, you're going to have a company because you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot become what you are not being. So if you're not going to put in the work, stop complaining. Stay at the 4%, stay at the 96%. But I know that that's not you because that's why you're here. You're here to break the ceiling. You're here to outperform. You're here to become unstoppable. And the number one pillar that you must be, guys, do you know you are the captain of your ship? Your ship is called your life. You decide how long you're going to keep playing like a pigeon, or you decide when you're going to soar like an eagle. I cannot do that for you. No one can, no one can make you fly like an eagle if you're still flying like a pigeon. No one can make you fly like an eagle if you're still sitting on the electrical cord sounding like a pigeon. You got to decide, you know what? I am going to trust Lucy. And I want you to write this down. Write this down. What is the worst that could happen? Write this down. What is the worst that could happen? What is the worst that could happen if you decided to trust Coach Lucy Q for 90 days? Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to do it better than me. You can't do it better than me because if you could do it better than me, you'd be doing it better than me. Don't try to add nothing to it. Don't self-sabotage and say, well, she said put an A, I'm going to put a B. No, just become the best student. Tell your mind, shut up. We are going to just follow directions. And that's your biggest problem. You know too much for your own good. We're like teenagers. We're like teenagers. We want to know more than the people that have lived twice as long as we've lived. We want to know more than the people that have done twice as more than we've done. So what's the worst that can happen? And that's why I made a decision. Hey, I'm doing Make Money Mentorship every Monday, and I'm sharing it with my Q International crew, the ones that say they want to go, they want to grow, they're ready for a next level. Okay, I'm going to believe you. I'm going to believe you. But you get to prove me right or wrong. You get to prove if you're ready or not. You've got the power. So I say all of that to move into that make money activity you must do every single Monday, which is supposed to be on your number one pillar, which is your calendar. So give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs up, give me some emojis in the chat, show me some love You guys are either you're hypnotized or you're in shock or you're so happy you don't even know what to say. But show me some love. Let's activate that chat because I want to share with you what it's really going to take for the next what? I think we have about 45 days left of this year. So while everybody is ready to fill up their credit cards with plastic money, I'm talking to winners that say, you know what? I'm not going to fill up my credit cards with plastic money for Christmas. I'm going to generate the income that I'm going to use to pay for my Christmas. And the number one pillar that I want to talk about is your calendar. Guys, you can make your calendar look so beautiful. You can make your calendar look so amazing. You can make your calendar look so awesome. But if it's not your boss, if you don't do what your calendar says because your calendar says you have to do it because you're the one that told your calendar what you must do to make money, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So if you're like me and you know that you want to generate more income, the number one step is you must look for the people and talk to the people. Your money and my money is in the hands of other people. Write that down. Your money is in the hands of other people. Actually, you should write, my money is in the hands of other people. All you need to do is figure out a value proposition that makes you so valuable that people are going to want what you have versus what every other 9,582 realtors have in your association. And your job is to make sure people know where to find you. Do people know where to find you? I'm not talking about those 5 people a year or those 6 people a year or 8 people a year. I'm talking about 6 people a month. I'm talking about 10 people a month. Where do they find you? How do they know that you exist? See, your problem is not the interest rates. Your problem is not the government. Your problem is not the loans, you know, industry, the mortgage industry. That is not the problem. The problem is people don't even know you exist because you're so quiet online. You're so quiet about what you do and how you do it. It's like you're working for the FBI. Like people have to work hard to find you. People don't even know what you do because because you tell them oh, I put a post last week. What? You put a post last week. You need to have put a post last hour and the hour before that and yesterday. Guys, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I don't care how long you've been in real estate. I don't even care if you're not in real estate yet. You are one decision away from changing your whole financial future. But you got to make the decision now. Write that down now. Like right now. Like winners don't do things now. Winners do things right now. Everybody say right now. Right now. Because sitting there wishing that the bills don't come in and wishing that you had more money and wishing that it wasn't so hard and wishing that you didn't have to do A, B, or C so that you could focus on doing D, E, and F, or wishing that life was different, or wishing that this, or wishing that that, or wishing that's not, nobody has ever accomplished anything big in life by wishing. I'll prove it to you. You've been wishing for the same stuff for like 5 years. If you've been in real estate that long, maybe you've been wishing longer. So what I want to tell you is this. Real estate has never been done the way it is being done today. And that is a huge opportunity for you because you could hit the scene. You could come in like a locomotive. You could come in so loud and so proud and so excellent and so disciplined and so committed and so consistent that people are going to just see you blow up right now. Because real estate has never been done the way it is being done right now. Technology has changed everything. But you have to find the time. Listen, do you think that I learned to do what I do now by wishing or by executing? You think I learned to do what I do, a master class, a mentorship, a coaching session, a training session, Winners Wednesday, an event, Southwest Florida Real Estate Mastermind Network. You think I learned how to solve problems, innovate, strategize by wishing? And that's the beauty, that anybody can do what I do. You just got to do what I do. Anybody can do what I do. You just got to do what I do. Write that down. Maybe that'll anybody can do what I do. They just got to do what I do. And what is that, Lucy? Massive action. And I'm not going to stop. And I'm telling you right now, you need to get so laser beam focused. You need to get so hungry. You need to become a mama bear. You need to become the 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 king of the jungle, a lion, and say, you know what? Get on, get off, or get out of the way, because I'm done. I'm done playing small. I'm done whining. I'm done complaining. You know how many people every Monday they're gonna start, and by Monday at 5 o'clock, now they're gonna start next Monday because they didn't win the day. They woke up in the morning thinking like a loser. They acted all day like a loser. And by 5 o'clock, they were in the loser's line. Because they woke up Monday morning. What am I going to do today? When does the week start? The week starts on Sunday, my friends. Sunday. If you're not planning your strategy for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on Sunday, you ain't ready for the big leagues. You're still in pre-K. You're still learning your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. So the highest level of money-making activity is right here. You got to look for people and talk to people every single day. You got to look for people and you got to talk to people in a way that you can follow up with them every single day. You've got to look for people, talk to people in a way that you can connect with them or follow up with them. Hey, you know what? Let's jump on a quick call later this week. When can I give you a quick 5-minute phone call just to reconnect? You got to leave the door open. You got to knock on the door. You got to ask them to open the door, and you got to leave the door open for you to come back and have an appointment. You got to take massive action. And if you don't do this in a massive way on Mondays, that's why it's make money activity, money making activity Mondays here at the Academy. Today, when I finished my first session, the question was simple. How valuable was what I did on a scale from 1 to 10? You know, every time you talk, every time you do an open house, every time you talk to a buyer, every time you talk to a seller, every time you talk to a for sale by owner and expired, every time you go door knocking, you got to ask yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, how good did I play? How good did I play? Write this question down. Would I hire me as my realtor? And be honest. Would you hire you as your own realtor? And I hope the answer is yes, because then I'm going to ask you, what are the 3 things you bring to the table that nobody else brings? What are the 3 killer, crush it, unstoppable you do like nobody else does at the level you do it, that nobody can compete with you, that you do? What are those 3 things? If your answer is, oh yeah, Lucy, I would hire me as a realtor because I answer the phone. Listen, that's your job. Oh, Lucy, I would hire me as a realtor because I give really, really good customer service. That's your job. Lucy, I would hire me as a real estate agent because, you know, I'm really, really good at what I do. I don't know what that means, but that's your job. So real estate is so simple. Just 2 closings are going to give you at least $21,000 a month, not a year, a month. Maybe your problem is you don't even see yourself doing that. Like I didn't see myself living in a mansion. And now you know what? Not because I need the mansion, but because I need to be the woman that can generate the income to say I can live in a mansion. Not because I want the money, but because of the person I'll become when I can generate the money. Not because of the money, but the person I'll be for my children and my children's children and my grandchildren and my financial legacy when I become the woman that can generate multi-million dollars a month, not a year, a month. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe your problem is you don't see yourself. And that's okay. Because I don't see myself doing certain things yet. But guess what? So prospecting, look for people, follow up with people, set an appointment. Okay? These are the top 3 things you must do. And on Mondays, write this down. On Mondays, you should be sending out 50 text messages that knock on the door, that leave the door open for a follow-up so that you can go in on Tuesdays, Wednesdays after 1 o'clock, because I know where you're going to be on Wednesdays until to noontime. You can go back and you can have some appointments. Monday after 3, all day Tuesday, Wednesdays after 1, all day Thursdays, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Yes, you have permission to work on Sundays, because this is not about having balance. This is about having equilibrium. Okay. So you want to master these for the next 90 days. And I want you to prove to yourself that you can master this. Oh, Lucy, but I don't know how to send out texts. Then you need to learn technology. Oh, Lucy, I don't know how to do reels and stories and videos. And then you got to listen. Then you have to identify what your real problem is. What is the real problem? What is the real problem that is holding you back on the things you need to do? I'm going to close out with this because, again, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a hurry. This is not a competition. This is a mentorship. This is a mentorship. And if you're still showing up on Monday like an agent and you're not running your business like a CEO, then you still haven't mastered the first pillar. Okay. So last week I gave you the breakdown of how top producers prospect and have conversations 15 hours a week. Guys, you got to do this for 15 hours a week. I'm telling you, if you do this for 15 hours a week and you do it at a high level and you do it with consistency and excellence, man, you will be generating one closing consistently and predictably every single month. It's only 15 hours a week. See, we rather work 45, 50, 60 hours a week for a carrot called a paycheck than work 15 hours for ourselves in a committed, high discipline, high consistent, high excellent way for ourselves. That's the world we live in. That's why 80%, 87%, write this down, 87% of realtors get out of the real estate industry within their first year because they weren't willing to work for themselves the way they work for somebody else. How do you explain that? How do you explain somebody will bust their back in the hot sun on a roof or in construction or, I don't know, at Walmart or at Publix or in a company? And let me tell you something else. Do you know the biggest threat right now because artificial intelligence? The biggest threat for the employee-minded people right now because of artificial intelligence is that AI is going to replace a lot of employees. Wakey, wakey. You think AI could replace Coach Lucy Q? You think AI could replace Coach Lucy Q? The answer is No. So you got to become irreplaceable. So that means you're going to have to master something. What are you going to master? Like, listen, with me, you're going to grow. You're going to learn to become that person you've been saying you want to become, or you're going to get sick and tired of realizing I can't stop myself from being the person I've been all my life. Like, I got issues. And if that's you, I can recommend a very good psychologist. I can recommend, I know some really good psychologists, therapists, counselors, because listen, everything has a solution, but you got to go through the pain. So where do you prospect? It's right here. Write it down. Focus on connecting with 10 to 20 people every day. Take 10 people, 10, but on Mondays, it's 50. And guess what? I came up with this really good solution. It's called 50 text messages every Monday without sounding like a realtor, without sounding like a cheesy, sleazy, bologna and cheese salesperson. Why don't you try that? Why don't you try sending out 50 text messages that sound like somebody cares, like you're friendly, like you're kind, welcoming, embracing? And just tell the people, hey, if you need anything in real estate, I'm here for you. Hey, if you've got any questions about the market, I'm here for you. Hey, if you know someone or who do you know that I can help? I don't care if they got bankruptcies, repos, bad credit, smelly credit, stinky credit. I'll help them. I am here to serve people. People want people that are willing to give more than they're asking to get. And maybe that's one of the biggest problems in our industry. We talk like realtors all the time. We talk like stinky salespeople instead of talking like a consultant, like a professional, like a servant, like a helper, like a giver. So fill your pipeline. You need 100 people in your pipeline. This is simple stuff. The most difficult thing in your real estate career is you and your mindset and your thinking and the people you're hanging around with or the people you are not hanging around with. Because you cannot activate yourself by yourself. You cannot ignite yourself by yourself. You cannot push yourself to the next level by yourself. That is the beauty of the human connection. We are so valuable. We are so priceless. There is no AI that can replace you or I once we become that person of excellence, that professional, that pro, that master. No one can replace us. But if we're average, any AI can replace us. So here's how you take these 15 hours. Next Monday, we're going to be at the academy. Okay. If you want to see what it looks like inside the laboratory, because that's what it was like today, it's a laboratory. Show up before 10 a.m., come with a pen, paper, open mind, and a big thinking cap on, because I decided to make magic happen. I decided to make magic happen. And I know I'm going to see magic happen. What's the magic? People growing, learning, and being transformed. People growing, learning, and being transformed. People growing, learning, growing, and being transformed. There's no greater magic than that. And if I could send out 50 messages from 30,000 feet in the air on the plane coming back from Colombia, you could send out 50 messages like a friendly, helping, professional, caring, giving, serving person every Monday. See you next Monday, my friends.